am calling the meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission of April the 9th, 2021 to order. The first item that I would like is a roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Erasmo Villarreal.
Present.
Jorge Dominguez. Commissioner Rafael Dueñas. Commissioner Abraham Lugo.
Present.
Commissioner Johnny Narvaez. Commissioner Raul Ugalde.
Present.
Commissioner Laredo Valina.
Here.
And Commissioner Ana Gabriela Villarreal.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, for the record, you do have quorum.
And Mr. Chairman, just for your information, Commissioner Flores resigned this week and because of another appointment that he's received and wants to focus on. So that position is currently vacant until a new appointment comes in.
Okay, all right. Okay, can we have a motion to excuse the commissioners that are not present? I know Dominguez and Dueñas are not present.
Here I am, President.
Oh, here he is. He's there. So the only one that's not present is Dominguez. Is that correct?
And
I move he be excused.
We have a motion. We have a
And
second.
also Commissioner Rafa, we have one more. Commissioner who was out of town?
Commissioner Narvaez, he's out of town, yes.
That's correct, Commissioner Narvaez.
So also Commissioner Narvaez. So we have a motion to excuse both. Do we have a second?
Second the motion, Ugalde.
Ugalde seconds the motion. All those who are not in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Motion carries. Thank you. The next item, citizens' comment. We'll give you a few minutes, Kirby, to see if anybody comes on the line.
Sure, thank you. And I'll use this opportunity to just remind everybody when you're not speaking to please mute yourself, both staff and commissioners and also engineers. We've asked the engineers to stay muted and also to have their cameras off until they're invited by you to participate on their item. And if I see that you're unmuted, I might mute you if it's causing a feedback. I don't do that to be rude, just to make sure that we have the best audio quality for the meeting recording and for those watching from the public. And we will alert you if anybody calls in.
Kirby, is the city going to invest some money in the internet to get you guys better technology downtown?
Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but there are investments being made so that we can increase our broadband.
That's what you need downtown because, I mean, not only are you guys having issues with your communications, but there's a lot of other county facilities that are also in the same boat. All right, do we have anybody citizens' comments?
No, sir, but we'll alert you if someone does call in.
Very good, thank you. The next item that we have is consideration of the approval of the minutes of March 18, 2021.
So move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second, Commissioner Lugo.
Commissioner Lugo seconds. All those who are not in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. With none heard, motion carries. Minutes approved. The next item is public hearing and recommendation of ordinances. Letter A, 5A, amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by authorizing the issuance of a conditional use permit for a bar in condos 9, 10, 11, 12 only, and on lot 1, 2, block 1, Kimberly Plaza subdivision located 4820 McPherson Road. Yes, sir.
Yes, you saw this last time. It was tabled. I'll ask Ms. Guerra to give the presentation again briefly, and then we'll give you some opportunity for discussion at the end of that.
Good morning, Vanessa Guerra for the record. The applicant is Juan El Garza. That's the property owner. David Garza is the applicant, and Miguel Gomez is the representative. As stated, the property is located in condo units 9, 10, 11, and 12 on lots 1 and 2, block 1, Kimberly Plaza, located at 4820 McPherson Road. The request is from B3 to a CUP for a bar microbrewery, including a food truck court, The bar microbrewery will include a food truck with 2 trucks, and 15 letters were sent out, and 1 was received in favor and 1 against. This is a location map overview. This is an aerial view of the location. A street view. This is a zoning map. You'll see that it's zoned B3 and it's surrounded by R2 and R1. The future land use map designate this as neighborhood mixed use. And staff supports the proposed CUP. It meets the location requirements that it be located along principal arterial. McPherson is designated a major arterial. It's again not anticipated to negatively affect their surrounding area. Although not in conformance with the comp plan's neighborhood mixed use designation. It complements the other commercial uses in the area, although it does not meet the distance requirements from other R districts. And while parking doesn't conform to the code, the existing and proposed uses hours of operation don't overlap. Therefore, peak parking levels are not expected to spill over. The print shop and beauty salon are only open during daytime, and the microbrewery is proposing to open after 5. Parking on site will require 62 spaces. 26 are available, therefore 36 are needed. There was a request to do a quick analysis of the adjoining site. That site required 36 spaces plus 6 stacking spaces for the drive-through. Spaces available were the 36 spaces plus the queuing for the drive-through. Therefore, they had 5 spaces over. Conditions are typical and located in the staff report.
Ms. Guerra, can you reiterate the special conditions placed on this in regards to the possible noise complaints?
Absolutely. The conditions include a prohibition against outdoor live music is prohibited. Outdoor ambient music will be allowed, but must be imperceptible on any adjoining property. There shall be no ground vibrations created or sustained which are perceptible on any adjoining property.
Thank you.
So that's the language that is focused on the noise issue.
Here's the proposed motion, and when you're ready to open the public hearing, here are the number that the public can call in.
Okay. I have a couple of questions. First of all, I have a question on what is the spacing distance between the zones, residential zones and this zone? It doesn't meet the 300-foot requirement, so what is the spacing requirement right now?
I measured it, and from the front door to those apartments to the west, it was about 35 feet.
But did you do that as the crow flies or using?
Yeah, I mean, I measured it because there's no intervening structures. I went directly to the property line.
Those measurements are typically taken from door to door using sidewalks. And so it would be, I'm guessing it'd be just under 300 feet if you do it that way. But as the crow flies, yeah, it's short.
If the ordinance says you measure from door to door, that's correct, right? That hasn't been changed, right?
No, with the B4, with regard to this measurement, it does not stipulate the method of measurement.
That's true, but while this is not a B4 zone, this is a CUP to do one of the uses in the B4. And just so you know, there are requirements for bars, but those are taken, as you said, door to door with using the sidewalks, so as a person can walk, not just as the crow flies.
So
But it
does
is
it meet-
adjacent to residential districts. That's true, and that's why we wanted to make sure the conditions of this spoke to the possible noise complaints that could come.
Does it meet Does it meet the state alcohol standards for distance?
It will have to.
But it doesn't?
I can't speak to that. We don't do that review for the alcohol
Well,
license.
it's 300 feet.
300 feet.
You're saying it's under 300 feet?
Right.
Well,
So how
we didn't do that measurement. But obviously, yes, in order for them to get a liquor license, they're going to have to comply with that.
Okay.
This is Ugalde. Can I comment?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so a follow-up to Larry's concern. That's not within our purview, right? Those state alcohol has TABC, and they'll take care of that. So that
That's
should be
correct.
relevant to our decision making.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Well, yes and no, because certainly we want to have the best information available to any applicant to ensure that what they're applying for, based on what you're granting or will be potentially granted by the city, will be in conformity with what they want to do, and not have to find out if they got approved, and all of a sudden, well, guess what? The state didn't approve it. I think those things should go hand in hand just to facilitate conducting business. You don't need people to make investments and then find out, well, guess what? You didn't pass the state requirement.
Yeah, I agree with you, but that's also the risk that the applicant's going to have to take as a business owner, as a business endeavor. For him, it's not within our. We could be aware of it, but we should have no opinion on it.
And I'll just add that the main use here is for a microbrewery. You know, there's not a ton of space in that for additional, which is why they want to use the outdoor space. And so I can't speak to, I mean, the applicant is here, they can speak to that. But what we're approving here is not just the ability for someone to drink there, but also the ability for them to produce with the microbrewery that we're considering. So the applicant is here when you're ready to want to ask some questions of the applicant.
Let's go ahead and get the applicant on the line.
Yes, good morning. Miguel Gomez for the record on behalf of Saludos Brewing. We agree
Miguel?
with staff's comment.
Are you able to share your video as well?
Let me see if I can.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, I have a question for Miguel. There you go. Miguel, are you aware of the state requirement of 300 feet distance to get a liquor license?
Yes, sir, we are aware of it.
And you feel confident that you're okay with that?
Yes, we are.
All right. Have to ask a question. Does anybody else on the commission have any questions for Mr. Miguel? Moment.
I do have a question, Mr. Chairman. The site plan only mentions a couple of suites, but it's really not labeled. So I wanted to ask staff if instead of writing the different suites in the CUP, if they can just specify the square footage.
The applicant has specified that the square footage for the cited condos is 2,000 square feet.
Okay,
All right.
because I know that the site plan has the square footage, not the suite. So I was just confused. I know that sometimes property owners can expand. So I will feel more comfortable if we could specify like the square footage instead of the suite numbers.
I think we can put both.
Okay, yeah, that will work.
That would be the
Yes,
best solution to that.
We'll make that amendment as this recommendation moves forward to the city council. We'll make that.
Perfect. That's all for me. Thank you.
Does anybody else on the commission have any questions for Mr. Gomez or the staff?
You mentioned 31 spaces of the adjoining site. Where is the adjoining site?
The property to the south, sir.
Which has the restaurant, the meat market, and the takeout food section.
Yeah, it has Mr. Corn, Suarez, Obregon's, and the drive-through.
So when you measure the 31 spaces and you include the 31 spaces and say that you have left over 5 spaces, that would be if those businesses were closed and there wasn't anybody parked in the area, correct?
No, the spaces altogether per the appraisal district is 66,120 square feet. For restaurants, it's one for every 200 square feet. So that requires 31 spaces. The drive-through requires 6 stacking spaces. So they have 36 spaces. So they have 5 spaces beyond what they
Who is they?
required.
But you have existing businesses on those properties. And
That's-
have you gone by there to see them?
Yes, I have, and I've driven by there at a couple different times of day. And my general, Commissioner Dolan, this is our recommendation, and somebody else might give a different recommendation. But what I feel like is parking is not only, our minimum parking requirements should not reflect what we think is the maximum needed at the peak time. And I would rather see the business owners, the property owners taking the risk on how much parking they think they need, rather than us dictating how much parking and maybe not letting a business go forward because it doesn't have the required parking. I'll add to that with one caveat. When I feel like the parking is going to spill over and affect residential neighborhoods, that's where I say, okay, maybe we have a concern. But when it's just commercial between commercial, you know, our recommendation is not that we don't care, but that it's not to me as serious a concern. And
Okay.
yeah,
And that translates to me, we don't care.
you could interpret it that way. That's not how I would say it. I would say I care less.
I have a comment, if I may.
Yes, sir.
One of the support letters that we received is from the owner of Suarez, which is the next door neighbor that we're all talking about. So just wanted to mention that we have a letter from them encouraging the approval of this CUP, and they would like to be actually one of the food trucks to be serving on location.
So who did we get a letter that was against?
We got a letter from one of the neighbors. Let's see.
Of the residential area that backs up to the property?
Yes, it was from the surrounding area. It was an email, and she mentions that she's doesn't support it. Said she's definitely very much no estoy de acuerdo, me opongo rotundamente como contribuyente y dueña de una propiedad ubicada en 1108 Chaparral. Poner cervecería desde hace más de 25 años por motivos que hay jóvenes y pequeños dentro de la colonia Chaparral y estamos contra esquina de la librería y van muchas mujeres. So she's opposed to it.
All right. Anybody, commission, have anything?
Sí, dueñas, Chairman, si me lo permite.
Dueñas, yes, sir.
Sí, mire, yo tengo unas preguntas para el señor Miguel. ¿Do you speak Spanish, Mr. Miguel?
Sí, sí, cómo no.
Ah, qué bueno. Mi primera pregunta es, la cervecería va a estar al fondo de la placita comercial, ¿verdad? Al fondo.
Sí, señor, correcto. Los últimos
No
4 espacios.
no da en la calle, no da en McPherson.
No, señor.
La propiedad de la imprenta, el printing que está ahí es del mismo dueño, ¿no? Por lo que estoy viendo ahí, apellidos Garzas.
Correcto, sí, señor. Así es.
Y bajamos de 3 food trucks a 2 food trucks.
Correcto, sí, señor.
Y tampoco veo yo ninguna librería en contraesquina. O sea, en contraesquina no veo la librería ni que esté expuesto a la calle, ¿verdad? Entonces, yo honestamente no le veo el problema. Yo pienso que yo estoy a favor de la moción, independientemente de ahorita mis compañeros comisionados. Gracias, Chairman.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Una última pregunta, Miguel, una última pregunta. ¿A qué horas abrirían ustedes? ¿A qué hora se abriría esta fabriquita de cerveza? No es un expendio de cerveza, estoy entendiendo, sino es una fabriquita de cerveza.
Es una microbrewery, sí, señor. Se abriría después de las 5 de la tarde, que sería cuando ya los otros 2 negocios cierran.
Si yo voy por una caja de cervezas o 2 cajas, no existe eso, no las voy a poder comprar, ¿verdad? O sea,
Solo
hacen
puedo vender la cerveza que se
artesanal
produzca
ahí,
exacto,
lo que
artesanal,
conocemos
exacto.
en español como cerveza artesanal.
Sí,
Y
señor, correcto,
reitero, al fondo de la plaza comercial.
correcto, sí, señor.
Y después de las 5 de la tarde van a ustedes a abrir y van a usar los estacionamientos que tiene la imprenta.
Correcto, sí, señor, así es.
Sherman, no tengo problema, Sherman. Adelante. Gracias, Sherman. Nada más quería dejar claro eso.
Anybody else on the commission have any questions?
Are you gonna have a late hours permit?
Those hours are listed in the conditions of the, do you want to let us know those, Ms.
A
Gallo?
late hour permit allows you to stay open till 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, the hours are limited from till midnight.
And we're in agreement with,
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? If not, what are the wishes of the commission?
This is Uganda. I want a motion to approve the conditional use permit.
Second, Dueñas.
We have a motion from Commissioner Ugalde and a second from Commissioner Dueñez. Who are not in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
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 And we have 2 who are not in favor. We have, and the motion carries then. Thank you.
thank you.
The next item, review and consideration of the following master plan. Review and consideration of Las ALDEAS subdivision master plan. The intent is residential, mobile home lots, and commercial. All right?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. For the record of file without the applicant, Garrett Forthuber, the engineer of record, civil engineering consultants, approximately 91 acres located east of US Highway 83 South and north of Cielito Lindo Boulevard. The zoning for this 476 lot development is R1MH, B1, and B3. The proposed use is residential, mobile homes, and commercial. General location, aerial view, street view, the proposed master plan. Comments from planning, engineering, water and utilities, traffic safety, TxDOT, and Parks and Leisure, and the proposed motion.
Do we have the engineer of record on? Oh, or the video conference?
Yes, sir, we do. Do you have any questions for him?
I want to see if it's in agreement with what is being proposed.
Do you agree with staff comments, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, by the way, this is Jaime Garcia and Jeff Quigg with Civil Engineering Consultants. We're here on behalf of our client. We concur with all the comments. We just wanted to respond to a couple of them. Regarding Parks and Leisure, the comment from the Parks Department. We already spoke to the Parks Department, and we're considering doing a cash and due. So there's already been that communication with them. And we would also like to respond to the traffic safety comment number 3, to add a collector that connects from US 83 to Palermo. We're in the process of obtaining a TIA, which would address the need for this collector. Therefore, we would like to request to remove that comment, to be able to, I guess, remove that item and just use the TIA, ensure that the TIA doesn't require that item.
Can you put the proposed subdivision master plan back on so we can see it? Let me see, show me on the map, and Kirby, where that connection they're proposing is, Palermo.
So Obsidian Boulevard is a major collector, I believe, and then, let's see, Dan McGee, are you here on the?
I'm here, Herbie.
Palermo is on the eastern point of phase one, the connection at the easternmost point of phase one.
Okay.
Herbie, if I can just say something, I think I can clear this thing up.
Sure.
I met with Jeff Quigg, the developer, and we agreed that they will do the TIA and that the master plan will be modified according to what the TIA shows, whether we have enough egress, ingress to the property. So I have confidence that we can work that out.
Okay, so you're fine if they strike comment number 3?
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's what I wanted to know. Anybody else on the commission have any questions for the engineer? If none heard, what are the wishes of the commission?
I move you approve the consideration of the subdivision master plan,
With striking with the
subject to the conditions.
striking comment number 3 with the traffic. Right?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion, a second. Do we have a second?
Second, Lugo.
Who will second the motion? All those who are not in favor of the motion to approve signify by saying aye. With none heard? Sorry? Somebody,
No, sir.
okay, thank you. Next item. Item number 7, consideration of the following preliminary plats and preliminary 7A, preliminary consideration of, is that EMAMI Plaza plat? Intended commercial?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is Emma Commercial Investments LLC. The engineer of record is Premier Engineering Surveying. Approximately 3.5 acres located southwest corner of Del Mar and John B. Alexander Parkway. The zoning for this one lot development is B1 and the proposed use is commercial retail. General location, aerial view, street view, the proposed plat, comments from planning and utility coordination continued, and water and utilities. And the proposed motion.
Okay. Do we have the engineer of record on the line?
Good afternoon, Eduardo Gutierrez with Premier Engineering for the record. We concur with the staff comments. We just like to add on comment number 1 from planning in regards to the pipeline, the gas pipeline. We have documentation where the pipeline was, I guess, abandoned, released. We'll be providing that information to staff during the one-stop shop process so we can clear that up. That's all I have.
All right. Anybody, any questions from the commissioners? All right, what are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve the preliminary consideration of the plat.
We have a motion, we have a second?
Second, Lugo.
Second by Lugo. All those who are not in favor of the motion to approve, signify by saying aye. None heard, motion carries. Next item, preliminary consideration of the replat of lots 11, 12, and 13. Block 15 of College Heights subdivision, Unit 3 into lots 11A, 12A, 13A, 13B, 13C, 13D. Block 15 of College Heights subdivision, Unit 3. The intent is residential.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. For the record, the applicant is Cesario R. Porras, Solo Development Partners. The engineer of record is Porras Nance Engineering. Approximately 7 3/4 acre tract located west of US 83 and south of Don Camilo Boulevard. The zoning for the 6-lot development is R1A and the proposed use is residential. General location, aerial view, street view, the proposed plat, Comments from planning and utility coordination. Water utilities and parks and leisure. And the proposed motion.
Okay, do we have the engineer of record on?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This is Wayne at Porter's Engineering.
Yes.
Yes, sir. We agree with all the comments. However, we want to note on the Parks and Leisure that this subdivision satisfied its park requirements many presidents ago. But we'll work with the Parks Department during the one-stop shop to clarify that. But apart from that, yes, we agree with all the comments.
All right. Does anybody in the commission have any questions to the engineer or the city staff? All right, what are the wishes of the commission?
Commissioner Lugo, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second, Ugalde.
Motion to approve and a second by Ugalde. All those who are not in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. With none heard, motion approved. Thank you. Next item, preliminary consideration of the replat of Lot 1, Block 10, Crown Ridge, Phase 1, into lots 1A and 1B, Block 10, Crown Ridge, Phase 1. The intent is commercial.
General overview for the applicant is T. Walker Holdings LLC. Engineer of record, Do Right Engineering. Approximately 0.79 acres located south of Shiloh Drive and west of Livingston Drive. The zoning for this two-lot development is B3 and the proposed use is commercial. General location, aerial view, street view, the proposed plat, comments from planning and water utilities, traffic safety and utility coordination, and the proposed motion.
Can you put the street view back on for a second? Okay, all right. Do we have the engineer of record on?
Good afternoon, Ricardo Ramos, engineer of record.
Yes, sir. You concur with the comments?
Yes, sir, I do concur with the comments.
All right. Does anybody on the commission have any questions for Mr. Ramos? Any questions for the staff? All right. What are the wishes of the commission?
Mr. Ugalde, motion to approve.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second by Larry Ovalina. All those who are not in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. With none heard, motion carries. The next item is the consideration of the following final plats and final replat. Can we have a motion to take all as one, item A, B, and C?
Make a motion to hear all items and at once, item A, B, and C.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. Those who are not in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. None heard, motion carries. Can we have a motion now for approval?
Mr. Ugalde, I'll make the motion to approve those three items.
Second.
And a second by Larry. All those who are not in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. With none heard, motion carries. Thank you. The next item that we have is, of course, the director's comment.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to say, apologize and thank you for your patience and understanding with the technical difficulties we had at our last meeting. That's why we're holding this special meeting today at noon. We'll have another planning commission meeting next Thursday at the normal time. And for now, we're continuing to meet virtually. We will wait to hear from City Council as to when we can meet again together and invite the public back in. Although there is some direction been given that committees can meet in public, that they can meet again following social distancing and mask wearing, that we haven't been given that direction to invite the public back in. And as a committee that requires the public, my recommendation would be to wait till we can do it 100% in public, inviting the public back into the council meeting room. If you see it now, it's set up for virtual meetings, and it takes quite a bit of staff to do what they do and with the way it's set up in the council chambers. So a little bit more patience. We're almost there. As soon as we are, I'll keep everybody alerted and send emails and be in communication with the chairman as to when we can start meeting in person again and what his determination will be ultimately making that call. I want to thank everybody for your service. You don't get paid for your time on the Planning Commission or the time outside of this meeting that you prepare for it. And we do appreciate it very much as staff, the service you give to your city. Thank you very much and have a great weekend. And we'll see you next Thursday.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
In a second, all those not in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries. Thank you all very much, and y'all have a good week.